it's JG, GSO General, in the flesh. I want to thank all y'all for tuning in. Broadcasting live from GSO headquarters.
GsoTV.
From GSO headquarters.
Greensboro, North Carolina.
Still up to the same old tactic.
You already know who it is, man. GsoTV.
What's really good, man? Be down here. Big shout to GsoTV. You ain't talking about this real exclusive right here. GsoTV.
Yeah, we back. All right, studio audience. All right, we back. GSO TV, reporting live, downtown Greensboro, GSO headquarters. I am your host, JG, the GSO General. We back. It's episode 2. It's a new episode. I can't believe we haven't been canceled yet. It's a beautiful thing. So, GSO TV, you never really know what to expect. I mean, it's a variety show. But we're going to dedicate this week's episode to the whole situation going on with North Carolina's water resources. According to sources, there's a rally going on in Raleigh where protesters are currently gathered to stand in solidarity against the governor, Mr. Pat McCrory, who is supposedly in cahoots with Duke Energy about this whole pollution of the North Carolina water system. It's a couple of different issues that are also involved. Here at GSO TV and GSO Entertainment, we like to keep our viewers informed as to several political situations that are going on within the community and the worldwide community for that matter. We have our news correspondent, Anna Roberto. She's live there on the scene. Let's see what's going on there at the Governor's Mansion in Raleigh. GSO.
This is GSO TV here for reporting live from Raleigh, North Carolina at the Governor's Mansion to protest the corrupted Governor Pat McCrory. So let's take a walk. The Governor's Mansion is to my left. You can see up close, we have a gathering of protesters. We're going to check out some signs and see what they're talking about.
Tell Duke's power to pay the bill. Tell Duke's power to clean up the mess.
17 water bodies, including the major rivers of the Catawba, the Cape Fear, the Neuse, the French Broad, the Yadkin, the Lumber, and the Dan, as well as Mountain Island Lake, Lake Sutton, Lake Wiley, Lake Norman, and Ballew's Lake. 14 communities across North Carolina: Lumberton, Samora, Mount Holly, Roxborough, Terrell, Goldsboro, Belmont, Eden, Moncure, Spencer, Mooresboro, Arden, and Walnut Cove. 14 communities directly impacted through groundwater contamination, leaking pipes, and seeping burrows. Even more, threatened by a complete dam failure at one of these 14 plants, many of which have high hazard ratings or have questionable structural integrity. Collectively, over 1 million North Carolinians are directly or indirectly impacted by the threat of coal ash. Collectively, 1 million North Carolinians are depending on the governor and the Department of Environment and Natural Resources to protect their health from toxic pollution. According to the EPA, living within 3 miles of a coal ash pond increases your risk of cancer 9 times more than smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. Despite what Secretary Scavarla, his baseless statements about the coal ash threat, we don't need more studies. We don't need a task force. What we need is action. The governor has the authority to direct Diener to take action. Diener has the ability to take action with or without the court system. The court has the ability to take action, and yet we see no action occurring to remove these toxic sources from our environment. All we see is continuing violations, and the list of violations at these plants grows longer. As the Environment and Natural Resources begin to inspect these plants, I'm sure we will see that list grow. And while they talk and write letters, the pollution continues unabated, unaddressed, and with no plan to remove the source of the pollution. McCrory, if you step forward as a leader and a champion for the people that have been impacted by coal ash, or that coal ash threatens their livelihoods and their lives, perhaps your environmental secretary and your former employer will follow suit. You have the ability to change this story, McCrory. You can change it from where polluters are protected and the citizens and the environment suffers, to one where citizens and our natural resources are put first and polluters are held accountable. I would like to see the headline read, "North Carolina leads nation in tackling its coal ash contamination." It should happen, it must happen, for all North Carolinians everywhere. All 14 plants are violating the law. One of these has already resulted in a disaster. 13 more disasters are waiting to happen. The 13 ponds that remain are larger and have the ability to inflict more damage than the Dan River spill. We cannot wait any longer. The time to act is yesterday.
Clean up the mess! 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 Clean up the mess!
Wow. Thank you, Amy. Proud here to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Bob Hall, Executive Director of Democracy North Carolina.
All right, crowd, this is great. Now, you know, Democracy North Carolina, we spent a lot of time criticizing the Democrats. We went after the corruption of the money that they took from the hog industry and the video poker industry and the big developers and the road builders. We went after the Democrats. Some of them are in jail now.
That's right.
Not enough. Well, you know, and now, you know, Governor McCrory, he ran on a platform that he was going to clean up the corruption in Raleigh. He was going to clean up the corruption. We need to clean up the corruption in Raleigh. He was going to end the pay-to-play culture. The pay-to-play culture. And what do we see now? We pay and they play. We pay and they play. They pollute and we pay. They get elected and we pay. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. Duke Power as one corporation. There's no corporation that paid more to get Pat McCrory elected than Duke Power, Duke Energy, and Progress Energy. All together in the 2008 and the 2012 campaigns, they put in $1.1 million to help Pat McCrory get elected. No other corporation came close. You want to tell me that Pat McCrory doesn't feel some accountability to that corporation? That's what's got to stop. That's pay-to-play, that's corruption. And Governor McCrory, if you want to stop corruption, you can start by taking on Duke Energy. You've been in office for a year. The Republicans have been in the General Assembly for 3 years. They have done nothing to help improve the ethics of this state, to have campaign finance reform, to have better sunshine about where this money comes from. We need to know whether Duke Energy has put money into this 501c4, this shadowy group that is running ads to sponsor, to help Governor McCrory, called Renew North Carolina.
The problem that we have in this toxic system that passes for a way of life and poses as democracy in the great state of North Carolina. We deserve better. We join you to demand accountability, answers, and assurance from the resident of the mansion behind me. Literally, an employee of Duke Energy. And unless he tells us otherwise, we consider him a Duke Energy millionaire who should be paying, not only for cleaning up this spill, but for cleaning up everything. They knew this was coming, and there must be justice. The poor of North Carolina, communities of color long exploited, cannot bear the burden. This is their burden. This is what they created. But this isn't a Democrat issue or a Republican issue. The Duke Energy monopoly has long held the ratepayers, the captured ratepayers of North Carolina under their thumb. But we have seen a turn. We've seen dramatic cuts in the folks over at Diener who are supposed to be enforcing our rights. We've seen a clear turn towards the corporate agenda of Duke Energy. But it's time to say enough, and we're here today to do so. Because we are a rainbow, and we are rising up to stop the coal crumbling from the precarious mountain that Duke Energy, Pat McCrory, and the rest of the Duke Energy administration are standing atop. But the rainbow that is North Carolina will rise up, and we will stop it. You ain't seen nothing yet.
That's right, you are tuned into GsoTV. And right now we are currently involved in the political situation going on outside the governor's mansion in Raleigh, North Carolina, where protesters have gathered to stand together in solidarity and unification against the situation going on with North Carolina's water streams, concerning the governor, Pat McCrory, and his involvement with Duke Energy. GsoTV, we get political from time to time. You know, we like to bring you music, art, entertainment, but right now, like I said, we are knee deep in the situation going on in Raleigh, North Carolina. Shouts out to Anna Roberto, our GSO correspondent out there on the streets. Back to Raleigh. Let's go.
Of all of the inequalities that impact health care and our health is the most inhumane. We have more of these coal ash ponds than any other state. And the only kind of ash that has a positive meaning and effect is the ash that we as Christians put on our forehead on this very day, Ash Wednesday, which is a sign of repentance, a sign for a time of deep reflection. In a real sense, I believe that this ash spill is a sign of a need for this state, this government, and all politicians who've ever participated in giving more power to the corporate entities rather than to the protection of the people. This spill is a call to repentance. That's right. And it's not the kind of repentance where you just say you're sorry, but you keep on doing the same thing. It's the kind of repentance that cleans up the mess and changes our ways and does justice.
We believe in clean water, we go forward together. Not one step back. We will work together and fight together to change things. We will always move forward together. Not one step back. What do we want? When do we want it? Now. Clean water 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 now. You made the mess. You made the mess. You made the mess. You need to clean it up. When? Now.
What up? We back, GsoTV. All right. Studio audience. Word. Okay, we are back. It's downtown Greensboro, GSO headquarters. You are now watching GSOTV. I am your host, JG the General. If you just tuning in, welcome to GSOTV. We have dedicated this whole episode to the situation going on in Raleigh right now. They're having a protest against Duke Energy and Governor Pat McCrory. This whole coal ash spill into the lakes of North Carolina situation is something that we all need to be concerned about. It affects us all. GSO, we are the people. So we bring you anything regarding the people, what's going on, current politics, issues. Yeah, I like to have fun. Yeah, I like to joke around. But hey, it's some serious stuff going on as well. But right now, we're going to take a break from that, and we're going to bring you another segment, GSO Weather. Anybody who lives in the Triad or the surrounding areas right now know that we just had another severe ice and snow system that passed through here. Things are ugly right now. Let's take it to the board. We got snow, sleet, ice going on here. It's a real ugly situation, folks. If you're inside, please stay home. I heard that there are a lot of power outages, a lot of trees are down. Right here at GSO headquarters, we still got power, we still got lights, camera, action, but it's a completely different situation for a lot of people right now. I mean, look, it's just ugly. I don't even want to look at it. Hey, I'm telling you, stay home, be safe, stay warm, don't go outside. The whole thing is supposed to blow over soon anyway. Spring is on the way, and it's about to go down. I know a lot of y'all can't wait for it to heat up. I can't wait for it to heat up. I mean, look at this. This is ridiculous. Bring on the sun. Bring on the warmth. Anyway, GSO TV, broadcasted live, downtown Greensboro, GSO headquarters. Like I said, we dedicated this whole episode to the situation going on with the clean water crisis. Pat McCrory, it's time to give us some answers. Someone needs to be held accountable to this situation. We have our special reporter live on the scene at the Governor's Mansion in Raleigh. Anna Roberto, back to you.
GSO live reporting. My name is Anna Roberto. We're out here at the protest against Governor McCrory. As you can see, we've got police out here. We've got a lot of special people out here, important people that are leaders in North Carolina that come and speak out against the corruption. Dr. Barbara over here. We also have our friends and associates from different organizations that actually care about people. So if you take a look, there's a lot of love out here.
We have houses, legs up, water out of water. We have working out the ass.
Hey, McCrory, tell Duke Energy, give up the gas.
Clean up the ass.
Hey, McCrory, tell Duke Energy, give up the cash. Clean up the ass. Hey, McCrory, tell Duke Energy, give up the cash. Clean up the ass. Hey, McCrory, tell Duke Energy, give up the cash. Clean up the ass. Hey, McCrory, tell Duke Energy, give up the cash. Clean up the ass. Hey, McCrory, tell Duke Energy, give up the cash. Clean up the ass. Hey, McCrory, tell Duke Energy, give up the cash. Clean up the ass. Hey, McCrory, tell Duke Energy, give up the cash. Clean up the ass. I can't hear you. Give up the cash. Clean up the ass. 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 Give up the cash. Clean up the ass.
Hey, my name is Layla Noor, and I'm a musician and an activist, and I'm out here protesting against Duke Energy and Governor Pat McCrory for their complete disregard and negligence in handling these coal ash spills and a lot of these rate hikes and abuse of people, basically, abuse of North Carolina people. That's it. One more? Is that it?
Yeah, we want to thank you for all you do for the city of Greensboro, our people.
You're right. And I think that is super important because it's about the power of the mind to really stop us from doing things that we need to achieve and really divide us from each other. And there's one thing that Moral Monday has really taught me is that there is a lot of community and a lot of love in North Carolina. So I'm honored to be here. So I'm just going to play part of it, you know, not the whole thing, of course, naturally. I don't know if people can hear that though. Can you hear that? We are only as tall as we think we are, and equally small. You can fall if you want to. Promise to catch you. I'm already here. We might learn to touch the sky, or once we've been together, then we'll be on our way now. They could cut us down if they want to, but we will not let them, 'cause today we fight.
Stand in solidarity with all the folks who live near the Dan River and all the people in North Carolina who live near Duke's coal-fired power plants and who are in the, you know, the immediate vicinity of potential disaster. I stand in solidarity with you, particularly, you know, poor people, communities of color, young people, elders. You know, the vulnerability of so many North Carolinians when it comes to the environment, and you know, the fact that we you know, people say, well, why are you still staying there, you know, near that coal-fired plant, near that hog lagoon? You can't just pick up and move. You know, I grew up in poverty. You know, I'm still struggling today, and you know, I'm kind of lucky that I don't live near a coal-fired plant. You know, but that's just a stroke of luck. You know, it could easily be me, so that's why I stand in solidarity. And I say to Governor McCrory, to the Department of Environmental and Natural Resources, clean up this mess. Duke Energy, clean up this mess. NC denier, I mean, that's what I call him. I call him denier. I know it's not how you pronounce it. But the when you walked out on folks that day, when there were people were seeking answers and you walked out on them, what were you saying to the people of North Carolina? What were you saying to the people who live in the near the Dan River? That was disrespectful. That was shameful. Hold McCrory accountable. Hold Duke Energy accountable. Clean up the mess. Clean up the mess. Clean up the mess. Clean it up. Clean it up. Clean it up. Thank you, everyone.
I am proud to work for NC Warren and Democracy NC, and the reason why I'm here is because I got involved with the Moral Monday movement, and I did civil disobedience with over 900 people. And the reason I did that was because Duke Energy is the largest political action committee that we have in North Carolina. Duke Energy is also the largest emitter of greenhouse gases, not only in the state of North Carolina, but they are also the largest emitter of greenhouse gases in the United States as a whole. Shame on them. Shame on them.
Shame on them.
Duke Energy has been able to get away with murder. When you look at the things that they are responsible for, coal ash, heart attacks, bronchitis, look at asthma, look at what it does to people who live near these coal ash ponds and coal in general. Not only does Duke Energy need to clean up the coal ash, we need to quit coal altogether. Duke Energy, clean up your mess, and we need to go forward together, not one step back. Thank you.
With me, we have Dr. Derek Smith with North Carolina Agricultural Technical State University. He's a very powerful force in this movement, and we just want to thank you for all the work that you do, and tell the people of Greensboro about why you're here.
Yeah, I decided to come down because of the obvious environmental crisis that's going on here in the state with the coal ash spill. So, you know, it's just time that the people get together and make their voices known to to the governor, to the state legislature, to the Department of Environmental and Natural Resources, and to the national government as well. Actually, a friend signed the famous Tom High from Chapel Hill. It's an honor to be able to hold one of his signs.
Oh, okay.
And that's the other side. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, I wish I could take credit for it.
In closing, this great day at GsoTV live report of the protests against the corruption in North Carolina. We close saying we want Governor Pat McCrory to come clean. We're tired of environmental racism, and we will be here to do something about it. We're not going anywhere. GsoTV, we out.
Yeah. Episode 2. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So we back. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It's GsoTV, downtown Greensboro, North Carolina, GSO headquarters. Obviously, this whole episode has been dedicated to the situation going on with Duke Energy and Governor Pat McCrory down in Raleigh. Shouts out to our correspondent keeping us posted on what was going on. We here at GsoENT support the movement for human rights, and we'll continue to keep you posted on the whole situation, because it's a situation that affects us all. Don't matter whether you man, woman, girl, boy, black, white. It's a situation that affects us all, because it's the water that we drink. It's your drinking water. I mean, come on, how much realer can it get? So, to Duke Energy, the message is clear. Give up the cash, clean up the ash. Give up the cash, clean up the ash. It's episode 2. I'm still excited. GsoTV, we gonna keep this ball rolling and rolling and rolling. Spring is right around the corner. Things about to start heating up. It's about to go down. GsoTV, who knows? You know, it's a variety show. You never know what might come on. You might be on next. But we gonna have artists come through here, you know what I'm saying? We gonna be backstage at events and all types of things like that. This is what we do. It's GsoTV, Greensboro, North Carolina, downtown. I am your host, JG, and we out of here. Stay tuned. Holla.